The Xiong'an New Area, established by Xi Jinping in 2017, was touted as a Millennium Project. However, 6 years have passed, and despite the injection of hundreds of billions of funds, the area remains largely desolate, resembling a ghost town devoid of vitality. It has been criticized by the public as an abandoned project. On May 10th, Xi Jinping led a group of political allies, including Politburo Standing Committee members Li Qiang, Cai Qi, Xuexiang, Minister of Organization Li Ganjie, and Vice Premier He Lifeng, on an inspection of the Xiong'an New Area. The scale of the visit was unprecedented, and it was believed to be a response to the rumors about the stalled development in Xiong'an, suggesting that the forced relocation plan is imminent. Xi Jinping first inspected the construction and operation of the Xiong'an station. In his speech, he claimed that the central government's decision on the Xiong'an New Area is completely correct and not hasty, and that the work in Xiong'an is solid and effective. On May 12th, Xi Jinping visited Shijiazhuang and chaired a symposium on promoting the coordinated development of Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei. Xi Jinping once again emphasized the decongestion of non-capital functions in Beijing, instructing that the construction of the sub-center of Beijing City should handle its relationship with the Xiong'an New Area well. The Chinese government claims to invest 30 trillion yuan to build a city of the future, the Xiong'an New Area. The goal is to become China's secondary capital by relocating non-capital functions of Beijing, such as universities, hospitals, and state-owned enterprises, and to control the population scale to around 5 million. According to the information from the State-Owned Asset Supervision and Administration Commission of the State Council, 63 central enterprises have participated in the construction of the Xiong'an New Area. 4 central enterprise headquarters and more than 150 subsidiaries have settled in Xiong'an, and the locations for 4 universities, including China University of Geosciences, have been decided. What message does Xi Jinping's high-profile inspection of Xiong'an and other places convey? According to Xinhua News Agency, following the first batch of relocated universities and hospital projects under Beijing ministries, Xi Jinping urged in his latest speech the launch of the second batch of relocation projects, including headquarters of central enterprises in Beijing and their second and third-tier subsidiaries or innovative business segments, as well as financial, research, and public institutions. Current affairs commentator Wen Zhao stated in a self-media program on May 12 that Xi Jinping's visit to Xiong'an Station community and construction site is to ensure that his personal command and deployment does not result in abandoned projects. The lineup of this visit shows that the current central government fully supports Xi Jinping's relocation plan. Xiong'an is ready to roll up its sleeves and get to work, and Beijing is ready to start moving. Those selected in Beijing will be forced to relocate. Xi Jinping once again ordered, "You all move." Xi Jinping's goal is to build Xiong'an into an industrial cluster centered around state-owned enterprises, universities, and research institutions. Following that, other non-capital core functions, commercial and service institutions will also be relocated. The specific target proposed by the Beijing Daily on March 30th is to accelerate the construction of 4 central enterprise headquarters, 4 universities, and 2 hospitals in 2023, and strive to have 30 secondary and tertiary subsidiaries of central enterprises settle in the new district. In 2022, only 20 central enterprises were registered on the ground. According to feedback from those familiar with the situation, registration on the ground simply involves hanging a sign and setting up an office, with the staff remaining in Beijing. However, in 2023, the requirement is for all personnel to relocate. Relocation is a process that accelerates over time, with a final goal, announced as early as 2019, being the relocation of 100 central enterprises and 4.52 million people to Xiong'an within about 15 years. Upon seeing that 4.52 million people are about to leave Beijing, Chinese economic experts further predict a drop in Beijing's property prices, including both residential and commercial real estate. Recently, official media have been reporting intensively on the resumption of work in the Xiong'an New Area. With the completion of one project after another, the scale of relocation is accelerating year by year, indicating that the forced relocation plan is imminent. In March of this year, Hebei Province required China University of Geosciences, Beijing Jiaotong University, University of Science and Technology Beijing, and Beijing Forestry University to build campuses in the Xiong'an New Area, which attracted the attention of many in the education sector. Some have stated that these 4 universities will all move to the Xiong'an New Area without retaining their Beijing campuses and original campuses. However, these 4 universities stated that they would not abandon their original and Beijing campuses. Even if they were to establish campuses in the Xiong'an New Area, it would not involve a complete relocation. Does Xi Jinping believe that by investing heavily in building a new city in Xiong'an and forcing people to move there, the problems of big cities will be solved? If the diagnosis of the problem is wrong in the first place and the solution is not targeted, how could it possibly be solved? Some experts believe that the Xiong'an New Area, a political product that completely contradicts market principles and social development trends, is inevitably turning into a typical abandoned project. The Financial Times even pointedly referred to the Xiong'an New Project as Xi Jinping's pet project. On April 1, 2017, the Hebei Xiong'an New Area, personally approved by Xi Jinping, was officially touted as a Millennium Project, a national event, making it another new area of national significance following the Shenzhen Special Economic Zone and the Shanghai Pudong New Area. In October 2022, Lian Yimin, Deputy Secretary of the Hebei Provincial Party Committee, stated at the first press conference of the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China that the Xiong'an New Area has completed an investment of 460 billion yuan in the past 5 years. Official data shows that as of the end of November 2022, the Xiong'an New Area has implemented a total of 240 key projects. 6 years have passed and we have yet to see any large-scale industries settling in Xiong'an. No notable brands have emerged from the area, let alone the establishment of financial, tourism, and high-tech industries. Despite this, residents are reluctant to inhabit the new city of Xiong'an. Many houses remain vacant and unrented, the streets are deserted, and the city resembles a ghost town. Let's turn our attention to the Xiong'an High-Speed Railway Station, the largest in Asia, built at a cost of 30 billion yuan. This city has a total construction area of 475,200 square meters, equivalent to 66 football fields or 6 Beijing stations, with a total of 13 platforms and 23 routes. Although the Xiong'an station was put into use at the end of 2020, due to the impact of Xi Jinping's zero-COVID policy, videos released earlier this year by netizens who visited the area showed that the area around the high-speed railway station was overgrown with weeds and the station had very few passengers. Despite this, Xi Jinping confidently emphasizes that in a short span of 6 years, Xiong'an New Area has grown from nothing to something, from a blueprint to reality, and a high-level modern city is rising from the ground, a feat that can be considered miraculous. Xi Jinping's ability to exaggerate his achievements, as accused by outsiders, is also deemed a miracle. Current affairs commentator Li Linyi stated on May 13th that Xi Jinping must be holding his breath on this trip. Foreign media had previously described his project as a failure, hence he had the Premier and Deputy Premier attend the conference on the Xiong'an New Area to speed up the so-called construction. However, the location of the Xiong'an New Area inherently has deficiencies, such as its low-lying terrain, which is prone to flooding. These issues cannot be resolved by simply accelerating construction. Over time, these problems will become more evident. Li Linyi believes that despite Xi Jinping's heavy investment, the final results may not be satisfactory. The pro-Beijing Hong Kong 01 reported that the simultaneous inspection of one place by so many high-ranking CCP leaders is historically rare. This not only highlights the high level of importance attached to the Xiong'an New Area, but also reflects subtle changes in the political order of the CCP. Over the past 20 years, the General Secretary and Premier of the CCP usually do not appear outside of Beijing at the same time, unless there is a significant event. For instance, after the Wenchuan earthquake on May 12, 2008, then General Secretary Hu Jintao and then Premier Wen Jiabao both arrived on the scene to direct disaster relief. Also, unless it involves significant events, it's rare for members of the Politburo Standing Committee to accompany the top leader on inspections outside Beijing. Instead, the accompanying party is usually the member of the Politburo Standing Committee in charge. To date, Xi Jinping has visited Xiong'an 3 times. He was accompanied by the first Deputy Premier Zhang Gaoli in 2017 and by the first Deputy Premier Han Zheng in 2019. This year, 3 members of the Politburo Standing Committee accompanied Xi on his inspection, with the rare inclusion of Premier Li Qiang. Hong Kong's Singtao Daily stated that with such a lineup, it's akin to operating an office and supervising a battle on the front line. Li Hengqin, a Chinese-American economist, said Xi Jinping's latest stance reveals that there is a lot of internal dissent within the party, with some questioning and accusing Xiong'an New Area of being a failed project. These criticisms had come to light some time ago, and now Xi, seemingly compelled with no other choice, had to visit Xiong'an and even made a point of inspecting the construction of the railway station in an apparent attempt to rebut his critics. Feng Chongyi, a professor at the University of Technology Sydney, told Radio Free Asia on the 11th that the Xiong'an New Area, personally planned and directed by Xi Jinping, has turned into a ghost town, facing many doubts within the party. Xi Jinping took full control after the 20th Party Congress and is now leading a strong team to inspect the area in an attempt to salvage this failed project. Feng Chongyi said these people are his followers, his original staff, purely Xi's army. Whoever he calls, they must obey at all times. It seems to the outside world like a massive mobilization, but in reality, he views these people as his minions, reflecting his ambitious vision to produce results. It's primarily to send a signal to China that he will spare no effort to make Xiong'an New Area work, which is absurd and politically motivated, akin to a vanity project. In fact, doubts and disputes over the Xiong'an New Area have been continuous within China. Firstly, Xiong'an's geographical location is flawed. It is situated in a basin. Xiong'an New Area is located in the Daqing River system of the Haihe River Basin, where North China's largest freshwater lake, Baiyangdian, is situated, fed by numerous upstream rivers. Building a city for 5 million people there poses a risk of the entire area being flooded in case of heavy rains. Furthermore, the water resources in the Xiong'an area are polluted and even scarcer than in Beijing. Wang Weiluo, a hydrology expert residing in Germany, pointed out early on in the establishment of the Xiong'an New Area that due to the construction of thousands of reservoirs in Hebei last century, the Haihe River Basin no longer has any perennial natural rivers, and Baiyangdian has lost its ability to naturally survive and purify itself, resulting in severe water pollution. In August 2021, Wang Weiluo reiterated in an interview that the geographical location of the Xiong'an New Area has significant flaws. Xiong'an New Area is absolutely unsuitable for a large city because it is the lowest lying area in the North China Plain. If Baiyangdian and the Haihe River experience a once-in-a-century flood, then about 90% of the Xiong'an New Area would be submerged. Xi Jinping's decision to build the city of the future by Baiyangdian makes one wonder if he believes he can control the water levels.